Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to break down the blueprint for a winning e-business strategy. You ever wonder why some digital ventures just take off while others completely bomb? Well, the answer is usually not about the idea. It's about the plan. So let's get into it. So let's kick things off with a question that, probably keeps a lot of entrepreneurs up at night. Why do so many internet ventures fail? Even the ones with really brilliant, game-changing ideas. And here's the thing. It's rarely the idea itself that's the problem. The real culprit, more often than not, is the lack of a clear strategy. They're trying to navigate this huge, complex digital world without a map. But here's the good news. There is a proven 4-step process that can take you from just an idea all the way to a successful launch. And that's exactly what we're going to walk through right now. All right, let's jump right in with step 1, strategic analysis. Now, you can think of this as knowing your battlefield. It's all about getting the lay of the land before you even think about making your first move. And this analysis happens on 3 different levels. First, you got to look inward. What are your company's resources? What's your tech like? What are your processes? Then, you look at what's called the microenvironment. This is your immediate competition and, crucially, customer demand. And finally, you zoom way out to the macro environment, all those wider market forces that are at play. A really interesting concept that comes up here is something called co-opetition. Yeah, it sounds kind of weird, right? Competition and cooperation? But it's this powerful idea that competitors can actually have these positive interactions that end up making the whole marketplace better for everyone. And you see this happen all the time, like when mobile companies get together to set joint standards for something like 5G, or when car companies use a joint platform to reduce their costs. They even team up for lobbying through trade associations. It's a perfect example of how working together can make the entire industry stronger. Okay, so once you've done your analysis, you're ready for step 2, strategic objectives. This is all about defining your mission. You know the battlefield now, so what exactly are you trying to accomplish on it? And it is so important that these objectives are super clear. Why? Because they're what's going to direct your strategy and your implementation. They let you actually measure if you're succeeding, and they communicate your goals to your whole team and all your partners, so everyone's on the same page. All right, now we get to the real heart of it. Step 3, defining your strategy. This is where you choose your path. You've done the analysis, you've set your goals. Now, how are you actually going to win? Okay, so one of the first big decisions is about your channel priorities. Are you going to be bricks and clicks with both a physical and online presence, or are you going to be clicks only? For most businesses, especially if you need human service or people want to see the product, that integrated approach is the way to go. A purely internet-based operation is feasible for some, but it's often really impractical without phone or some other kind of support. Next up, you got to figure out your growth strategy. And a classic framework for this is the Ansoff matrix. It basically gives you 4 options. Are you going to try to sell more of your existing products to your existing market? That's market penetration. Or are you going to develop new products for that same market? Maybe you'll take your current products to new markets. Or, the riskiest move, you go for full diversification. New products for new markets. So once you've got your growth plan, you need to think about positioning. In other words, how are you going to stand out from the crowd? There are 4 key variables to play with here: product quality, service quality, price, and fulfillment time. And the goal isn't to be the best at all 4. That's probably impossible. The goal is to be better than your competitors on the metrics that your target customers care about the most. Okay, on to our final step. Step 4, implementation. This is where the rubber meets the road. It's the journey and all of its dangers. Because a great strategy on paper is worthless if you can't actually pull it off. So where do e-business strategies go wrong? This is where so many companies stumble. Let's look at the big pitfalls. Number 1, massively overestimating how fast the market will adopt your new thing. It's so easy to get excited and think everyone's going to jump on board immediately, but it just doesn't work that way. Even successful online grocers took years and years just to get a tiny slice of the market share. Number 2 is just plain bad timing. You might have a genius idea, but if you launch it before the enabling technology is widespread, like, say, high-speed internet, it's just dead on arrival. The world has to be ready for your idea. And number 3, a simple lack of creativity. You see this all the time. Companies just copying what their competitors are doing without adding any unique differentiator of their own. If you're not giving people a reason to switch, why would they? But listen, it is not all doom and gloom. Successful implementation is totally possible. You just have to know what to focus on. Okay, so let's talk about the keys to digital success. This is your checklist for implementation, the things you absolutely have to get right.
It really boils down to 4 critical factors. First, content. You need an effective way to present your products and services. Second, convenience. Your website or app has to be super easy to use. Third, commitment. You need a real, deep motivation inside the company to innovate and really use the internet to its full potential. And finally, integration. All your IT systems have to be linked up to improve your processes and your partnerships. You nail these 4 and you're in a great position.
So, to wrap this all up, remember this. Your strategy isn't supposed to be a static map that you make once and then shove in a drawer. It's a compass. It's something that should be guiding you every single day. So, the real question you have to ask yourself is your compass pointing you in the right direction